Today on The Occult Detective, it is yet another book haul. We had a great time at the Book Warehouse last night in beautiful Swayze, Indiana, the home of Hoosier Books and Media. And we came home with some treasures. I thought that I'd show them off to you today before the weekend hits us. Let's start with, this thing's big and heavy, 1,000 Buildings of Paris. This my wife found, and it's really just a spectacular book. So we take a little tour through Old Paris. Another little interesting find was 13 Steps to Mentalism. So this is a unique book. I guess it's very rare. Essentially, it's a guide to all the tricks of mentalism, and very much sought after. And yeah, kind of neat. This one was kind of unique also. Simplified Scientific Ephemeris from 1930 to 1939. This is from the Rosicrucian Fellowship. And this is an astrologer's workbook. This has been around the block a little bit. I think that makes it even more special in that this was, until this book was well used. We have Creative Mythology, The Masks of God, Joseph Campbell. I've read a lot of Campbell over the years. These full of legends and myths. And, it's all about the hero's journey, which is, the part and parcel of what Campbell preached. And, these, I never pass up Campbell editions. If for no other reason, it gives me an opportunity to pass them along to somebody else who may have not had the chance to delve into the man's work. Another interesting little book, The Templar Tradition in the Age of Aquarius. This was a, kind of a no-brainer for me. The mystical side of the Knights Templar has always been a fascinating subject for me. Yeah, I rarely pass up an opportunity to read the more esoteric side of Templar lore. Always fascinating. This one was a great find. Stonehenge, Plans, Description, and Theories by W.M. Flinders Petrie. That's just an awesome book. Of course, Stonehenge has long been a fascinating landmark. Very detailed accounting of the site, and just a terrific find. It will be a welcome addition to my shelf of Stonehenge lore. Now it's time for a little fun. Here is Dashiell Hammett 5 complete novels. We've got Red Harvest, The Dane Curse, The Maltese Falcon, The Glass Key, and The Thin Man, complete and unabridged. I love Hammett. And, having these all in one volume makes me think a booktube event might be coming our way. Now, how about some even more fun? Couldn't pass this up as soon as I saw it. It is Whitman's adaptation of The Return of Tarzan. I mean, look at that. those end papers. Just a huge Tarzan fan. Edgar Rice Burroughs fan. And even though this is adapted for young readers, look at the art. There's no way this wasn't coming home. And finally, we have Alfred Hitchcock and the Three Investigators and the Mystery of the Vanishing Treasure. Look at that. I am a huge fan of the Three Investigators. When I was a kid, of course, my first love was the Hardy Boys. And after I'd read my way through all of those, I read my way through Nancy Drew. And then, luckily, my school library had a couple of the Three Investigator books. These were very hard to come by. I'd pick up a stray one now and then at a rummage sale. And they meant the world to me. And, I have a decent collection, but I'm always looking for more. And this is one I did not have, and it's in great shape. I've really enjoyed my time working at Hoosier Books and Media. It's a great warehouse, and it's always like Christmas. And you get to dig through these massive Gaylords, typically containing roughly 1,000 books, and you just never know what you're going to find in them. And it's always a real pleasure, just digging through all the stuff. And some of the books, are just incredible and rare, and they come from a number of sources, but mostly I think it comes from estates of people that have passed away, and the families don't know what to do with the books. They're not book people, and so they send them off to be recycled, and these Gaylords are rescued from recycling centers, where these things are going to get pulped and destroyed for all time. And you see the selection of books I just showed off. Yeah, I get books like that every week, and in a lot of ways it feels like I'm giving these books a new lease on life. The majority end up on my bookshelves, read and loved, and others I pass along to interested parties. It's just a great thing. It's doubly so because I really enjoy the warehouse owner. She's a wonderful person. She has a big heart, and just a pleasure to work with. But the highlight is getting to work with my wife and son, and getting to spend time in there with them, talking books, laughing, and just enjoying our time together in that environment, and it gives us an opportunity to, to make a little money on the side, and add to our, our collections. It's like I said, it's always a treat and a pleasure, and there's just certain books that come along, and you're just, you're amazed that this thing made its way to you. Stray Lovecraft comes along, the Stray Burroughs, Frazetta covered mass markets. There's always something special waiting for you. And, the books that don't go home with me and, aren't earmarked, they go on the shelves, and they're sold $1.50 for hardcovers and $1 for everything else. That's trade paperbacks, mass markets, record albums, DVDs, VHS tapes. you name it. And there's great stuff to be found there for $1, $1.50. So there's some great finds there for people, particularly, if you're a fan of science fiction and fantasy. They have a great selection of books in those genres, plus mysteries and thrillers and romance and westerns and everything else. I mean, it's a veritable paradise of books, and I get to work there. I get to work there with my family and my friends. I mean, you know, it's a great side gig. That's all I have for you today. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you on April Fool's Day.